Yeah, I love that. I love that word contentment that Val just spoke. So let's actually close our eyes in this moment and welcome Kim. Um, so I always come to class just, and I have my own, theme that I love to bring, but what I really love is feeling where everybody's at and pulling the theme out of that. So, contentment, restfulness, seeing the light in the midst of still being in the dark and in the blues, right? And yet seeing the sparkly possibility of change. And this is the beauty of the seasons, right? Is that there's always the next season. And so we often in these halfway points, we start to feel the possibility, the stir, especially from the deep hibernation of winter, right? And so we can just come into our bodies in this moment and see what's real, see what we're embodying right now. Maybe it's a little more stillness and quiet and maybe it's a little more of contentment. And so just take a few breaths, and as you exhale, let your sitting bones yield and soften into the earth, almost as if you're going more into that deep winter stillness. And then as you inhale, you can start to just feel the spine begin to grow a little bit taller, maybe just exploring and staying curious about the space between the vertebrae. Relaxing any tension in the face and the jaw. Great. So the beauty of the yoga, right, is that it is the union of both. So what Karen spoke to about both, the sparkly and the inward winter blues, like can we actually hold both, the in breath and the out breath, and the spaces in between, which is ultimately the middle path that we seek on the yogic journey. And I don't know why my phone, I'm just going to turn that off. And so bring your hands together on your next in breath with the left hand meeting the right in the center of the heart. And we'll begin our practice today just with 3 ohms or any sound that you prefer. I like to play with different tones. So we'll exhale the breath fully and take a deep, full breath in through the nostrils. So just staying in the inward focus for a moment as you release your hands down, keeping your eyes closed. Stay rooted in the base of your body. So the sitting bones are deeply grounded. And then we'll come into a nice gentle twist. You can keep the eyes closed for this first few moments. Right hand back behind you, left hand onto the right knee. And then start with a nice twist. Inhaling, growing tall through the spine, opening up the chest slightly, and then exhale, turn and twist. And take a few breaths here. Inhaling, filling up the torso, lungs, kidneys, and exhale. So we are in this season of kapha. In Ayurveda, kapha is water and earth. And after a while, water and earth, I know it very well because I have a lot of it in my chart, it can get a little sloth, it can get a little slow and sluggish. So we want to move it, right? That's what we're going to do this morning. Inhale, one more breath, exhale, twist from the navel, and then we'll go right to the other side. Left hand back, right hand onto the left knee. Inhale, nice big breath, exhale, twist. And the kidneys are very much associated with kapha, winter, right? So the kidney chi is what we want to work on a little bit today. Inhaling, breathe into the kidneys. Exhale, twist. Inhale, I think it's kidney and I want to say large intestine. Exhale, so digestion tends to get a little sluggish, right? Inhale, one more breath. Exhale, all the breath out. Inhale, we'll come back to center. And let's make our way onto all fours. And we'll come right back into puppy pose, right? Back into a half dog pose. Stretch out through the fingers and root down through the bases of the fingers to draw more energy back through the sitting bones. And just stay here for a few breaths. Open up the pelvic floor, the pubic bone, tailbone, and breathe. Feeling free to breathe out through your mouth, maybe a few times, just to let go of any stress or tension. And then we'll inhale, come up onto all fours. Let's come into a few cat-cow movements. Arch the back, look up, inhale. And on the exhale, pull the navel to spine, round your back, chin to chest. And inhale. So you're just going to find your own pace here. Exhale, round. And do about 3 or 4 more breaths. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. Exhale. Good. Rounding navel in towards the spine and then coming back. And let's take the left leg, stretch it back behind, right arm out in front. And just do a little core connection here. So hug the arm and the leg in towards the core of the pelvis. And from the core of the pelvis, radiate outward. And take a few breaths. You can wiggle your fingers and sort of find the sparkly. I love that you brought that in, Karen, because we're looking out at the sparkly trees. So we can just find the sparkliness in our bodies, and the toes, the fingers, the soles of the feet, maybe a little bit of stretch in the wrists and ankle. Good, and then let's exhale, squeeze the knee in, the elbow in, and just do a couple little radiate back out. And exhale, squeeze it in. Great, and then come back onto all fours. Right leg extends back and left arm out in front. Yeah, and hug. You want to pull the arm and the leg in towards the center. So you're finding that midline. And from the core of the belly, radiate out. Find the sparkle. Even in your eyes, you can start exploring the soft sparkle in the eyes, the gaze. And then exhale, squeeze it in. Inhale, radiate back out. Exhale, squeeze. Good. And then inhale, reaching back out. We'll plant the left hand. Let's come back into plank pose. Both feet back. And then we'll slide the hips back, downward facing dog. Let's come into our first dog pose together and just play in the body for a moment. Waking up all the muscles, the tissues, the bones, the joints. Yeah, letting your head relax, soften. And you can bend the knees to really get the opening through the lower back and spine. So you can feel like that deep slumber that the body has been in this winter, right? And we don't want to come out too quickly, and yet we don't want to get stuck in there. So you just start to bring more prana and life force in through the joints, kidneys. Yeah. Good. And then let's walk our way up to the front of our mats, and we'll separate the feet a little wider than hip distance. And then inhale. As you look up, lift the toes and spread all four corners of the feet. So you want to wake up the feet here, lengthen the spine. And on the exhale, deep forward fold. And then just let your head go. And if your hamstrings are on the tight side, like mine are this morning, just go ahead and micro bend the knees. And come into the center of the feet. Beautiful. And relax your jaw. Find a little soft, steady smile across the face. So like a bear in hibernation, right? We can really keep nourishing the inner body. And then we'll take another breath here, inhaling. Exhale all the way out and then bend the knees and roll one vertebrae at a time, coming all the way up to standing. Yeah. And then just take a moment here with your four corners of your feet grounded on the earth. And you can open the eyes softly and let your body just find the vertical line for a moment. So you can just feel the body start to self-organize. There's not a lot we have to do, right? As long as we're finding the feet on the ground, opening the soles of the feet. Great. And then we're going to do a little warming up this morning, a little shaking, but first let's bend the knees a little bit and find the tailbone towards the earth. And then we're just going to swing side to side. So you want to keep your legs pretty solid here and just let the upper body and your hands, if you actually let your hands flop, they're going to lightly tap the kidneys. Yeah, and it's just a great way to start to bring chi back into the kidney, lower lungs. You can let your gaze go with it. It's nice to close the eyes too. Great. And then just make those movements smaller and smaller and smaller. And then we'll come back and let's do a little shake here. So you're just coming out of that hibernation and you're going to come out and just start to shake your body. So you can start with the wrists, the feet, the hips, shoulders, head, anywhere that needs to shake. And this is a great thing to do if you ever feel stuck in a pattern. You just shake. I always forget. You might come up and down. Let's just do another 30 seconds or so. And bring in the lips, the mouth, the jaw, any sound perhaps. Yeah. And then we'll hop our way up to the front of our mats and just find stillness, close the eyes. Bring the feet parallel or together. And just notice what you feel. You might feel a little tingly. Maybe you're like, I'm not ready to shake. I want to stay in my little bear cave. Just notice what's happening, and then we'll bring the hands at the heart. And we'll just come back to the intention that you brought in, contentment, finding the balance between the in and the out. Rest. So no matter how you're working in your practice, can you find a deep inner rest? Restore. We'll take another deep breath in. Good, and then let's open the eyes and we'll exhale, release the arms. We're gonna separate the feet, just do a little more warm up. And we'll bring the feet hip distance apart, clasp the hands behind the back, root down through the legs, and inhale, open up the chest. We just open to the light of spring, the possibility. And then exhale, fold forward. And again, if your hamstrings are a little on the tight side, you're just gonna bend your knees. Yeah. Let your weight fall just in front of your heels. So the big toe mound and little toe mound, inner heel, outer, equally grounding as the arches of the feet awaken. And then let's straighten the left leg, bend the right knee, and open up your whole left waistline towards the ceiling. Good, exhale, come back to center. Straighten the right leg, bend the left knee, open up your right shoulder. And exhale and release the hands. Good, and then we'll do a little bit of a deeper twist here. Set your right hand out in front of your feet and the left arm comes up to the sky. And you wanna try to keep your hips level here. Yeah, and then from the levelness of the hips, you're extending long through the spine, through the crown. And the twist is sort of the result of the action. Yeah, another deep breath in. Exhale, look down and switch hands, left hand down, right arm up to the sky. And we ground the feet, inhale long through the spine, crown of the head. Exhale, gentle twist. You could bend your left knee a little bit if it's a lot. And one more breath, inhale. Exhale, look down. Let's scoot our feet together. And then we'll step the right leg back into a lunge. And let's line up the fingertips with the toes and just play here, side to side, front to back, opening and moving through the hips, right? So the element of water and earth is kapha. We just want to start to stir and bring a little fire, perhaps, into the stagnation. Yeah. Good. And then exhale, bring the back knee to the floor. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Let's hook the thumbs together here. And then we'll take a slight bow with the gaze, right? So you're opening through the back, through the lower kidney area. Good, bringing lots of openness in the back body. Then inhale, come on up and don't lose that openness. And you'll curl back. And find that little sparkle in your gaze, your fingertips. Breathe deep Ujjayi breaths. With every in breath, we want to bring a little more opening up into the hips, the psoas. Exhale, soften. And one more breath, inhale. Exhale, hands come to the floor. We'll take another twist here. Right hand down, left arm comes up to the sky. Yeah. You want to try not to collapse your right hip. So keep the outer left hip pulling back. Yep. And then open, breathe. So where are you overworking, and can you keep that energy of winter, the inward grounding as you open? And then exhale, release. Good. And we'll step back to half dog or full dog, your choice. Listen to your body this morning. Stay in that process of trust, right? Trusting that body unfolds. Spring is coming. And then we look between the hands, right foot forward. And we'll stay nice and light on the fingers and just play here, forward, back, side to side, feeling into the edges of your pelvis, your hips, your pelvic floor. Yeah. And so water actually likes to move. Right? We just add a little bit of fire through the breath. Stoke the fire. Great. And then take another big breath in and exhale, back knee down to the floor. Take the opposite hook of your thumbs. Yep. And bring the arms overhead and then just take a slight bow. So you're looking into the seeds that you've planted. And then inhale, just slowly starting to maybe come up and open and expand. And you can kind of go back and forth with the breath, the inhalation, opening up the back body, and then the exhale, curling back. And then just take another big breath in here as you take a sip and exhale. Release the left hand down, right arm reaches to the sky. And take about 5 breaths here. From the tailbone, extending long through the crown of the head, back of the skull opens, gaze to the right. Listen to the flow of your breath, your in breath, meeting the very top and falling right into the out breath. Great, and then exhale, release, and then we'll come back to downward dog. You guys tell me if I miss anything. And reach and stretch. Open up the palms of your hands and soles of the feet. Good. And then inhale. We'll slide forward with the chest, lower the hips, plank pose. Exhale, knees to the floor or straight legs, lower all the way to your bellies. And we'll come into a baby cobra here, rooting down through the pelvis, lift the chest. And I like to just do kind of more of a moving Sahaja Cobra here. So you can go side to side, doing some big shoulder loops, shoulder circles. Yeah. And then once you feel warm, come into the full Cobra pose. Inhale, spreading all 10 toes. And exhale, lower. And then let's reach back and take the clasp of the hands. And again, root all 10 toes, tailbone extends towards heels, and then inhale, rise up from there. Opening up the chest, breathe. Beautiful. And exhale, hands by the chest. And let's come back into child's pose. Just for a breath or half child, and regroup. Regroup. So the beauty of the seasons is that we can hold the seed of the exhale, we can hold the seed of winter as we come into spring. And we can hold the seed of spring as we come into summer and so on. Great, and then inhale, coming up onto all fours, and exhale, slide your way back to Adho Mukha Svanasana, down dog. And take a nice full breath in. Nice long extended breath out. And then let's walk up to the top of our mats. Inhale, hands on the shins, halfway up. Exhale, fold forward. Plug in the feet. Inhale, lead with your heart and stretch the arms wide and up overhead. Palms touch at the top. And exhale, just brush the thumbs along the third eye, throat into the heart center. And again, take a pause moment here. Just find your feet on the ground, soften the shoulders. You can have the eyes soft or softly open or closed. Yeah, just feeling the body self-organize in space. Good. Okay. And then let's move through a couple of Surya Namaskars. So from here, yeah, I actually love to take each of our themes. So for this first one, we started with Sarah. So we started with this kind of feeling of the doves resting and restoring, right? So find that deep inner winter space in your body here for a moment, relaxing all the excess tension. Kapha is like, it's like being on the couch. The healthy kapha is like being on the couch in front of the fire with like a cozy cashmere blanket around you. So just feel that for a moment inside. We're going to take that embodiment and bring it all the way through the sun salute. So arms down by your sides, spin the palms and inhale, sweep the arms like you're wrapping yourself with a blanket of warmth. And exhale, come forward, deep bow, turning inside. And then inhale, the hands on the shins, lift, lengthen, extend. Exhale, we'll step the left leg back into a lunge. One big breath here, lifting the chest forward. And then exhale, step back into plank pose. Inhale, exhale, either straight legs or knees down, lower down, and inhale, slide your way through the cobra. Feeling that nourishment inside, and exhale, lower. And you can press back. This might be a nice one to do the child's pose, but you can also go into downward dog and just breathe 5 breaths. 5 ujjayi breaths. Yeah. So with every in breath, we nourish the kidneys, the lungs, the lower back, the abdomen. And with every out breath, we can just release and surrender and soften. Relax the jaw, the eyes. We find that space, we start to also explore contentment. Yeah, just another breath or two. And then finishing out your last breath, you're going to step the right foot forward, either from dog pose or child's pose. And then the left foot, and inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, bow, Uttanasana. And inhale, leading with your heart, arms sweep wide and up. Reach for the sky. And exhale, bring the hands back down. Just continuing to nourish. We'll just take that energy of rest and nourishment and bring it into Karen's theme of both the inward and the outward is what I feel like, the sparkly outward that's calling us into spring, and sort of that deep, more inner quiet, maybe even the winter blues. Okay. And so we bring those two through our breath. Exhaling, release the arms down deep into the earth. Inhale, reach the arms and radiate, sparkling through the eyes and fingers. And exhale, up and over. Deep bow within. Honoring those darker places within us. Inhale into a halfway lift. This time, let's step the left leg back first. Exhale here. And inhale, one breath, floating the heart forward. Exhale, we'll step right back to plank. And inhale here, leading with your heart, either knees bent or straight legs, lower and come through to up dog or cobra. Your choice. Opening. And exhale, press back. And just depending on where you're at. Sometimes if we're feeling stuck in a place of inward, you might want to come into downward dog. But if you're still feeling like you haven't gotten what you needed from the inward, you can maybe come in and pull in. The other day I was deep in the muck, and I just knew that I needed to get out for a ski, and it changed. It really did. Just find that place in the middle of the in-breath and the out-breath. And then inhale. And exhale all the breath out wherever you are. Child's pose or down dog. And we'll step the left foot forward. And then the right foot. And inhale to a halfway lift. Radiate from the heart outward and exhale, bow inward, ground down through the feet. And then inhale, lead with your heart. Reach the arms all the way up. And exhale, hands come down. Just take a moment here in Samastitihi. This is the beauty of yoga, right? Is embracing our humanness, the duality of the light and the dark. And can we walk this middle path of yoga? Great. And then I love the theme of contentment, santosha. We'll move through this last Surya Namaskar and finding that place of inner contentment. So no matter what's going on in the outer, can we find this place of deep gratitude, acceptance, contentment? Deep breath in. And then exhale, arms down by your sides. This is like just a prayer in motion. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, up and over, flowing into the deep forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step both legs back into plank pose. And take a pause here. Yeah, so we'll really root down through the hands, strong legs, open heart, soften your chest. Look just about a foot in front of you. So we're staying present, but we're also able to look towards our potential. Deep breath in, exhale, lower, either knees bent or straight legs. And inhale with an open heart, reach the heart into cobra, exhale, lower. And press back, come into downward dog together. Listen to your breath, ears are open, eyes are steady. Santosha teaches us to be just really okay with where we're at, right? A lot of compassion wrapped into Santosha, contentment. Great, and then we're gonna walk the feet together here, touching the big toes, and sweep the right leg to the sky. And hug the inner thighs like you're squeezing a tennis ball, so we stabilize in the core of the body, and from the pelvis, reach through the back foot. And exhale, we're gonna step all the way through to a lunge. Yeah, and bring the back knee to the floor. And then inhale, sweep the arms up. We're just gonna move right into a little series of standing poses here. Open up the arms to the right into a twist. And we'll pull the lower abdomen just slightly in. So Uddiyana Bandha, again, activating the element of fire in the body. Yeah. And then you can either stay here in the twist, a little more open twist, or hook the elbow outside the knee and hands fold at the heart. And then open the chest long through the crown, look to the right and breathe. Come to your Ujjayi breath. If you want to go a little further, you can lift the back knee off the floor. It's your choice how deep you want to go today. We're going to revisit some twists. So if you want to just stay lighter in the beginning, that's fine. And then one more big breath in. Good. Exhale, release the hands. Scoot your right foot all the way out to the right, both hands inside. Yeah, and either work it here or come down onto the forearms and breathe. You want to just meet that first sweet edge in your hips today. Listen to the sweet, soft sound of your breath. Great. And then inhale. We're going to walk it back up. And let's turn the right foot about 45 degrees out and set your left hand down. And we'll come into a little more of an open twist here. So your left hand's going to be out to the side a little more. Yeah. And then if you like to go into twisted monkey, reach back and grab your foot. You might not feel warm enough, so we'll have another opportunity for this. Ah, feels good, huh? Yeah. And he's taking one more breath here. So make sure you breathe into the back body, opening up the lungs, kidneys, and then open the heart and chest. Open to the possibility, turning your left chest towards the right. And then inhale, gently release. We'll slide our way back to half dog, puppy pose, or full dog. Your choice. Walk it out. Move any tension that's in your neck, shoulders. And find that deep inner contentment. So important these days. It's probably not a whole lot on the outer right now that's going to bring contentment. Maybe looking at those doves. Good. And then we'll take the left foot, bring it between the hands, bring the back knee to the floor. Go ahead and inhale the arms up overhead, and we'll take that twist over to the left. So you're going to open your chest to the left. Palms are wide open. Okay. So we hold the steadiness in the lower body, right? Little squeeze of the thighs, outer hips hug in. This is that stability that's important for the opening. And you can either stay here or inhale and exhale, take your elbow outside your knee for a little bit of a deeper twist. Fold hands at the heart. And either staying here, lift the back knee and just work it, inhaling and exhale. Meeting each sensation with your breath. And then finishing your next breath, and on the inhale, we'll bring the hands down and oh yes. Oh wait. Yeah. Yeah, I think we come here first. Yeah. So you can either stay on the hands or come down a little deeper if your hips are more open. Yeah, just whatever you do, find that edge in your body and breathe and wait. Letting go of any holding in the jaw or shoulders. Right. Yoga is an opportunity to really work through the body, the somatics. So your last couple of breaths here, softening in, and resting. Great, and then sort of like we are right now, just coming up and just peeking into spring. So we start to open up the body a little bit more. So you can take your right hand quite a bit further out and then left arm up to the sky, either this big open twist. You can just start here. And then if it feels good, moving into the twisted monkey where you take the foot. Yeah, nice quad stretch here. So on the in breath, we just hug in a little bit. Yeah, just to stabilize. And then you can really soften in the hips, open the heart. And turn. And last breath, inhaling. And then we exhale, release. Okay. Did I miss anything? If I did, you guys please tell me. Scoot back, downward dog. I do have a little bit of that winter brain fog. We'll just walk the feet out here, breathe and feel. Mhm. Great. And then we'll step the right foot forward into a lunge. This time turning your back foot out. Yeah, grounding the outer edge of the back foot. And inhale, come up into Virabhadrasana 2, just for a breath or two here. So we're gonna stabilize in Vira 2. Great. And then reach back, interlace the hands behind the back. Loop the shoulders back, inhale, open the chest, and on the exhale, bow your chest towards the inside of your foot. So again, just come to that first place. You should feel this on the inner groin, and you wanna get it's easy to get the inner rotation, so where the pubic bone goes back, then you wanna scoop the outer right hip back and under. Yeah, that's it. So you're trying to line up the right sitting bone with the right knee. And then you can start to open the chest, maybe last couple of breaths here. Ooh, I feel those hips. Do you guys? Great. And then we'll take both hands to the inside of the foot. So we're gonna walk the hands all the way out in front. Again, you're gonna stick your butt out, get that nice inner spiral, inner rotation with the thighs. Open up the hip. Great. And then we'll walk it back in. And two options here. You can either place the right hand inside the foot and just reach the left arm up. This is a great hip opener. If your hips are a little more open and you want to go deeper, you can take bound Parsvakonasana. So you reach your right arm under and clasp the left hand behind the back. Ooh, I haven't done this in a long time. Not sure what got into me this morning. And then exhale wherever you are, hands back down, and we'll just walk the hands over to the left. Yeah, take this pause in the middle. Feels so good. You can even bend the knees a little bit and just shimmy the hips back and forth. Let go of your head and neck. So for me, I can get a little attached to form in the asana. So I always like to come and shimmy a little bit and move and let go of the form in between. And then we'll turn over to the left and inhale, just slowly sweep your arms overhead into Vira 2. And just take a moment, mostly just for stability, right? Here, just feeling the stability that this pose brings. Good, and then take the opposite clasp of your hands, reach back, open up the chest, strengthen the back leg. So ground the outer back foot as you open the heart. Yeah, let that sparkly winter energy in, and exhale, bow. Great. So stay in the stability of the lower body, opening up the hips. That's beautiful. Really nice, everyone. Great. And then we'll release the hands to the inside of the foot. Yep, and walk your hands out in front. So you get a nice big open pelvic floor pose here. Always makes me want to open my mouth and jaw when I open my pelvis. So feel free to move your jaw around a little bit. And then you can walk your hands back in and either take the variation where you set your left hand down right onto the sky, or reach through and clasp the hands. So find the one that works best in your body this morning. Feel your hip. Relax your jaw, smile. Good, everyone. And then exhale, release the hands, and we'll walk back over to the right. Prasarita Padottanasana, just folding forward here. You can take whatever arm position feels good, either elbows or tripod. And just breathe. Wake up the feet, so big toe mounds, grounded. Little toe mound, inner outer heel. And then we're going to inhale, look up, exhale, walk back to the front of our mats and downward dog. I'm just going to take downward dog into child's pose. Knees apart, feet together. Let's take a good 7 breaths here. So, So we nurture the body, we nurture the inward spaces. And find that balance of healthy kapha, which is earth, water, right? But not getting stuck in it. And starting to move that energy when we know that it no longer is serving, right? Been working with my son a lot on because he's been feeling a lot of depression this last month, and it's the discipline, right, of getting up in the morning and getting in the shower and working through the stuckness of kapha. Yeah, we all have it. We all have to do it this time of year. Okay, good. So let's come up onto all fours, and we're going to come into half pigeon, right knee forward between the hands. And you'll just decide here, if you want to come into a deeper hip stretch, you're going to pull your foot more towards the front of the mat. Okay. Yeah, just find your sweet edge. And then with the back leg, tuck the toes under and lift the knee, roll the thigh inward, and you're going to feel the lower back open when you roll that back thigh in. I'm just going to, you guys, I want to make sure there's no weird light. Is it okay? Okay. Okay. Oh, there is a strong light coming in though. There we go. All right. So we'll start here in half pigeon. Back thigh bone rolls in, and then before you go in, take a big breath in and open. So you want to try to get this lift in the front, especially in the front psoas and hip flexors. Yeah, and then you can go up and over into it. And you might just come down onto the elbows to start. It's always nice to do a little bridge, thumbs in the bridge of the nose. Help open up the cranial bones. And some of you might like to just come all the way down and in. Relaxing into the jaw, the eyes, the hips, pelvis. So the beauty of that winter time is if we can find contentment, right? And just sometimes I feel like just when we start to find that contentment, we start to get pulled out towards spring. It's great. And then we'll stay low to the ground and walk on over to the left. And then you can set your right elbow down and fold the hands at the heart. Okay, yeah, so like this. It's a nice little twist. Yeah. So you're a little bit more over on your right side, and you want to find that inhale, lengthening from the tail to the crown, and then exhale, just the heart, chest moves and turns to the left. Eyes. So we can actually turn and look towards spring. And then inhale, coming back. And why not? Let's take another quad stretch here. So we'll bend the left knee and take a hold of the foot and just hug in a little bit. And the gaze actually looks to the opposite. So we start to look over to the right, turning the left chest to the right. And then gently release, and we'll switch, coming through downward dog. And do a little stretch. And then left knee comes between. Great, take a big breath in, roll the back thigh bone in. You just wanna get this sense of the front of the body opening, and then coming forward. And settle. You just come to that first little edge and wait for the opening in the tissues. And that little smile, compassion in the body, or humanness. So a couple deep breaths. If there's any stagnation hanging out in the lower body, you can think of the body really as like our house, right? The basement of the body. If there's any stagnation there, we want to move it. We want to clear it. Let it go. Let it compost into earth. Good. And then inhale. We'll slowly come up and we'll just walk over to the right, grounding the left elbow, hands fold at the heart, and inhale, long spine. Exhale, turn. A couple of deep breaths here. Beautiful, Val. Yeah. Open the back of the skull, last couple of breaths. And on your next inhale, come on out, and we'll do one last little stretch here. Take a hold of the right foot with the right hand, hug in a little bit, and then look up and over to the left. There's a nice little throat opener here too. Beautiful. And then exhale, release, and slide your way back. Downward dog. Beautiful. And then let's come down onto our knees, all the way down onto our bellies. And we're gonna, let's see. Let's come right into Dhanurasana. So we'll bend both the knees, take a hold of the tops of the feet. And this might be your Dhanurasana today. So just feel your body, see where its edges are today. Keep the thighs parallel. Then we want to exhale, root the tailbone in from the core of the pelvis. Lift the head and the chest, legs and the feet. Just go to your edge. Yes, and breathe. Feet are pushing into the hands to get a little more opening. Yes, good, Val. And then exhale, release. Just rest your head right on the hand stacked. Slow your breath down. Great. And then let's go ahead and turn over. We're going to lie on our backs. I'm just going to turn around so you guys can see. Yeah. Great. So let's finish up with the bridge pose. Go ahead and come up onto your elbows with the fingers pointing up towards the ceiling. Then you can walk your shoulders straight back. Right? You want to keep the nice curves of the spine, the neck and the lower back. And then we'll exhale, press into the feet and lift the hips. You'll come up with those curves. And the elbows root down to get more opening through the chest. You can imagine you're just holding onto a nice light foam block between your inner thighs, just stabilizing that midline. Any of you who feel inspired, you're welcome to come into back bend if you have that in your practice. Otherwise, you can interlace the hands under the back and maybe walk the shoulders in a tiny bit more. Grounding the inner heels. You want to find that third leg, as if you had a third leg right between your two legs. And it's grounding you into the midline as you lift your hips. Yes. Beautiful. And then just taking one more breath, perhaps lifting the hips, maybe another 1/4 of an inch or so. Throat is open, smile on the face. And exhale, release the hands, lower back down. Good, and you can rest the knees into each other for a few moments. And just enjoy the breath. Great. Let's take both knees into the chest, just wrapping the hands around the shins. Give a little squeeze. And we'll keep a hold of the right knee and extend the left leg all the way out onto the floor. And we'll twist the right knee over to the left and cactus the right arm out to the side. And look over to your right. So our last spinal twist today. Taking your time here, nice long breaths. So one way to get through these last months of winter, right, is just to enjoy the lounging energy. Like you're curling up in your cozy blanket. And then inhaling, come back, draw the knees in, give a little squeeze again. And then we'll extend the right leg and twist the knee to the right. And go in slowly, inhaling and exhale. With every breath, deepening into that spinal twist, opening up the vertebrae. And then inhale and just come back gently, draw both knees in. Give yourself a big fat squeeze. Just pulling all the way in, all the way into yourself, your humanness, your beautiful spirit and soul. Just pulling in, giving it all a hug. Yeah. And then we'll exhale. Release one leg out at a time. I thought we'd finish with a fish pose and then a little pranayama today. So you're going to tuck your hands underneath the buttocks. Okay, stretch out the legs straight. And you can either go in if you know it or watch because it's hard to see. So I like to push into the elbows, float the chest. Okay. If you have any neck issues, you might want to just look towards your toes. Otherwise, you can let your head go back and come up onto the top of the head. Yeah, and then the last variation would be to walk the elbows in and open up the hands towards the ceiling. That's the full Matsyendrasana, the fish. Toes open, feet open, heart open. Gorgeous. And then to come out, when you're ready to come out, you're gonna lift your gaze up towards your toes and then release. And then come back down. And just enjoy lying on your back, enjoy the sensation. You might feel a little tingly and sparkly. Enjoy the breath. So if you, I'm gonna actually give you guys the choice. If you want to stay in Shavasana, because sometimes that's really nice just to go right from here into Shavasana, you're welcome to just get all that ready and go into Shavasana. Otherwise, I'm going to guide you through a little Nadi Shodhana. So you're going to roll to your side, come up to sitting. Nadi Shodhana is great for just balancing out the two channels on either side of the Shushumna, the main central Nadi in the body. And so just if you feel inspired, you can come up and join me in Nadi Shodhana. So we'll find a comfortable seat. Make sure the spine is supported and vertical. And we're going to use the right hand. So you can fold the middle and index finger back. So you're going to be using your thumb and your index finger for Nadi Shodhana of the right hand. So we'll just start by finding a few Ujjayi breaths. And then if you're going into Shavasana, just let yourself soften in. Tip of the tongue is resting on the roof of the mouth. The jaw is relaxed. We'll begin our Nadi Shodhana by taking a deep breath in, closing off the left nostril. Breathe out through the right. Inhale through the right. Close the right. Breathe out through the left. Exhale. Inhale through the left. Exhale through the right. Inhale right. Start to find a little pause between. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Slight pause. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Third eye focus. Exhale right. Last round here. Inhaling right. Awareness passes through third eye. Exhale left. Inhale through the left. Exhale through the right. And we're actually going to inhale through the right and then exhale through both nostrils. And take a few Ujjayi breaths. Breathing in through both nostrils. The attention rests at the third eye center, the Ajna chakra. And in that third eye center, we're able to get the higher viewpoint. We can see that witness consciousness begins to see duality and how duality is playing out through light and dark, good and bad, in breath and out breath. And the yoga offers us that perspective, that higher perspective. As we walk the middle path. And as you're ready, you can either stay here for the next couple of minutes and just sit with your attention at your third eye center, or you're welcome to go into Shavasana for a couple of minutes, your choice. In Shavasana, just begin to slowly make your way back into the body through your breath. Feeling the edges of your skin. The skin meets the air. Sensations inside the body. Begin to, as you deepen your breath, begin to find just some slow movements, stretching the ankles and wrists, fingers, arms reach overhead. And then you can bend both the knees and roll over to one side. And if you're sitting, you might want to just start to move your pelvis a little bit, your spine, shoulders. And we'll just make our way to a comfortable seat together, hands folding at the heart. So may we bring all this beauty of the practice, contentment, and finding the midline between the light and the dark, and deep nourishment and rest, trust out into our day and all those we encounter. We'll bring the thumbs to the third eye and just seal in the practice. Namaste. Gratitude.